Has this ever happened to you? You just got into something new, whether it's a video game, TV show, or book series, it doesn't matter, but you're just vibing with it. Your free time has been completely absorbed by this new cool thing that you found all on your own. The story hits all the right beats and the characters make you smile and laugh. You've been completely absorbed into this dopamine-filled hole for a few days while you make your way through this piece of art. When you finish, you feel comfortable enough to talk with other fans about it now that the experience won't be ruined for you. Making your way to YouTube, it's only a few seconds before the search bar is filled with the title of your new favorite story. You press enter and the worst possible video is the first recommendation. It's a review by some asshole you vaguely remember watching a few years back. The title card just shows a smug look on their dumb avatar's face that stands in front of the title of your recent obsession. Fuck, man. It's got like 200,000 views, you have to watch it. What does everyone else think of your thing, your baby, your source of happiness? Of course, this goes only one of two ways. They like it and it's a boring ass video, probably no longer than 10 minutes, or the more likely option, it's a 30-minute shit show of them tearing it apart. And you know it's gonna start like this.
Guess what I bought today?
God, shut the fuck up! It was something you did in your free time, fucker. You weren't forced to do it. Oh, side note, I'm going to be referring to this person as a dude because it's rare that a girl reviewer will sink to smug tier analysis with no substance. Yes, I do hate men and they should all be castrated. Anyway, this fucking guy is shitting all over this thing you like. You obviously disagree and he doesn't address any of the good parts you love, but he's just going to keep jerking his dick over how sucky and shitty everything is. And oh, it's a trial to get through it. The worst part is you reach the end of his dumb video and his final thoughts are, "It had some good moments, but overall this dumpster fire gets a
stupid grading system
from me." Then they finish up the stupid ass B-plot they shoved into the video and call it a day. As he's plugging his Patreon, you nervously head to the comments. It's very rare, but sometimes an audience will turn on a reviewer if they're being plainly unfair to whatever they are reviewing. This is not one of those times. The comments section is filled with people laughing at the topic a ponderous porpoise just spent the better part of 20 minutes shitting on. 80 to 90% of these people have never watched, played, or read whatever this dweeb is talking about, but they completely agree with him. The rest of the viewers who have knowledge to argue his points don't bother because who would fucking waste their time like that? If someone steps up to the challenge, they're immediately drowned out with, "Oh, can't take criticism, pussy! You're just mad he totally shit on your bad story." Well, point from video. Can you argue that? Huh? Can you? Okay, these people don't care if you can or cannot argue the points that were made in the video. They just want to gloat in the glory of being right. You could write a book on why this review in particular is wrong, but only the people who agree with you are going to read it. This is the main point on why I think reviews as a whole are fucking terrible. No one actually cares about the review, they just want proof that how they think is correct. Now, a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say about that sentence above. Well, don't you watch reviews all the time? What if I just want to be informed before I purchase? You just can't take criticism. Shut the fuck up. Give me your phone. Yes, right now. Give me that shit. What am I doing? I'm subscribing and then immediately unsubscribing from a bunch of Twitch streamers. Yes, I know the month is about to end and it's a waste of money. That's the point, dickhead. This is a punishment. Actually, this is a bit, baby. You can't stop me. It's my video. Now that I've distracted you from your concerns, I need to say more stuff. I will address your stupid ass points later, but I need to go on a tangent here. Remember how I said it in my last video that reviews are by and large useless? I stand by that statement. A perfect review should only last a few seconds and be less than a paragraph. Those were the days where critics weren't hailed by the world as intellectual heroes, but just normal people who wasted their time so you didn't have to. I think that's all they should be, and if anyone thinks differently, then they should try creating something themselves rather than just tearing into someone else's work. I already sent you guys foaming at the mouth ready to fling rebuttals I've seen a million times. However, I'm not about to do the funny voice third-party argument a third time because comedy comes in threes and I am not a comedian. This is a serious video on youtube.com. As you've noticed, I like to yell in my videos because it's a good way to keep the audience attention whilst also ending my points on a high energy note. Unfortunately, I have nowhere left to go once I do that, so now we're back to analysis. I think reviews were doomed the moment people tried to copy the angry video game nerd. The ever-marching on passage of time means that people don't know who the legendary James Rolfe is, but here's a crash course. James Rolfe is a filmmaker most famous for his character, the Angry Video Game Nerd, abbreviated as AVGN, also known as the Angry Nintendo Nerd. This character starred in a show sharing the same name, and it was all about an angry nerd who took you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. He would rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer than play the games he would review on his show. What a lot of people don't realize that the show wasn't ever a review show, it was a let's play. Only about 30 seconds are dedicated to reviewing the game, which is usually some form of, oh boy, this is gonna be a bad one. Then he pops that sucker into his Nintendo toaster. The rest of the video is an edited version of him just playing through the game. Sometimes with a B-plot, sometimes without, but you already know the game is bad a minute in. That fact isn't hidden from you like it is in reviews of today. When you watch a review of the modern times, you're subjected to the person dancing around the actual review for about 5 minutes. Then once they start, the first thing that happens is usually what you're going to get for the rest of the video. Either a smash cut to them screaming at an ugly title, or calm music as they slowly take you through a powerful intro sequence. For most channels, you can end the video there, as it'll either be good or bad for the rest of the video. Notice how I said most? Okay, I'm going to take a quick detour to mention review channels that actually divert this formula of a pseudo-review by actually having a review which includes both good and bad points. I'm listing these people here because I'm going to talk about a few in depth, and I want you to be familiar with their names. Also, you should watch their stuff because it's pretty good. Here, I'm going to show you what I believe to be a perfect review. I even started a second channel just to dip my metaphorical toe into the review ocean. Only 2 videos in and I'm already expanding. That's called ambition, baby.
Twin Peaks is pretty good.
Now, what was wrong with that review? I said it was perfect, right? Wrong. It's pretty easy to tell what was wrong with that. It's fucking boring. There's no pizzazz to it. Yeah, I got all the info I needed, but if I'm watching a review, I want to be entertained as well. Ah! Stop right there! We've arrived at the crux of the problem. A review isn't meant to be a show in and of itself. It's supposed to be a review. Back in my day, and by that I mean when I was like 13 and jerking off to Persona 3, I would look up reviews of games before asking my mom if I could get them. Yes, I'd ask my mom this sort of stuff because I was a good obedient child. I would never finish these reviews. I would always skip to the end just to see the review score, and if it was good, I would then watch the actual video or read the full article to see why it was good. In general, I didn't give a shit about a game if it was bad. This line of thinking is kind of where things get murky. I'm not saying it's bad to give a game a bad review and then elaborate on why it's bad. It's bad to give a game a negative review and make people believe the game is made up of shit and only shit the whole way through. Even if this is the case, your video should only be 10 minutes long then. You state what parts of the game you like, and then you say everything else is bad. The end. It's not that hard. Here's where I'm going to comment on another channel and kind of explain how a negative review can have substance. Take, for instance, H-Bomber Guy, the internet's favorite soy boy speedrunner. His most successful videos are titled Blank is Garbage, and here's why. Now you would think some fuckhead like this would make reviews I would completely hate, but you would be wrong, because I am much smarter than you, idiot! Mr. Bomber Guy's negative reviews always go in depth on why these so-called bad things are popular, and he goes over the positive aspects of them as well. Even if he may hate the material itself, he does give props to Fallout 3 and Sherlock for the genuinely good bits they have to offer, and that is the most important thing one can do in a negative review. Now, one could do this disingenuously by dedicating 5 minutes of a 50-minute video to saying, I liked the visuals and the acting was nice, and that's all the good I could say about it. No, it isn't, shithead. You just want to get to the fun part. This leads us to the second point I want to make here. Unfortunately, it's much more fun to tear something apart than it is to praise it. At least to the general public it is. As a society, live in such a negative space all the fucking time. There is always someone saying something bad about something way more than there is someone saying something good about something. Even if someone is complimenting something, it's only to say it's better than something they hate. I said something like 6 fucking times. Holy shit, get better at writing a goddamn script. When people review something, they want to be the absolute authority on that something, even if they don't want to seem like it. Someone made a response to H-Bomber Guy's Fallout video titled, Fallout 3 isn't as bad as you think. And in a separate video, Harris, in a joking manner, expressed his dislike for the response. This could be a gross misinterpretation, but even reviewers I like will fall into this trap of showmanship during their reviews, which is why I found a lot of reviewers are no longer calling their videos reviews, but analysis or deep dives. Honestly, I agree with this. Don't call your video a review if it has anything other than a review shoved into it. Much of this video has been me expressing my disdain for videos from channels called The Ponderous Porpoise or some shit. But it's important that in my video titled Reviews Are Bad, I should at least try to explain what would make a review good, while also making it entertaining. Well, first off, positive reviews are always more entertaining than negative ones, simply because we've completely explored how a piece of media can be bad. No, one game you found at a bargain bin at the thrift shop is not so uniquely bad that you need to make a 25-minute video on it. I'm positive there are at least 4 to 5 other videos saying the same exact thing about the same, or even a different game in how bad it is. I promise you, this video about you hating something has been done before. If you take the time to sit down and really think about why you liked a piece of media rather than one you hated, you'll come up with much more interesting stories, scripts, and reviews than if you're just saying it's bad. This is because people have to be convinced something they've never heard of is good. No one has to be convinced something they've never interacted with is bad. If it's bad, then they don't even have to give it thought. I never ran into this bad thing, oh no. But if someone is convinced something they've never heard of is good, they're scrambling to go out and try it. Haha, that's how reviews work, dumbass. No, shut the fuck up and listen for a moment. Even if a piece of media is mostly bad, you can convince someone to interact with it based on how passionate you are about its good parts. I've been talking mostly about games this whole time because that's what I'm most familiar with, so I'm going to try to change it up here by talking about a very famous movie. Tommy Wiseau's The Room. Now, if you're familiar with The Room, you already know it's an amazing movie, and I don't need to say why. But for the well-adjusted people in the audience, it's time for a second crash course. Tommy Wiseau, a strange man which no one really understands, created a bizarro world of a movie which is shot poorly, the acting is horrible, and the plot doesn't make sense. But it's such a genuine act of movie making that the world fell in love with it. It's worth watching once, no matter who you are or how pretentious and judgmental you may be about movies. You can genuinely feel the passion in each shot, and it's both a miracle and mystery that it exists. The world is a better place for its existence, and if you're one of my friends in real life, you've definitely been annoyed by how much I talk about it. It's a perfect example of how something bad is still enjoyed by a wide audience simply because of how passionate those who love it express their love for the media. If anyone tries to make a serious review of The Room, the comments completely dunk on them for taking the movie seriously, and then say people should watch the movie regardless of what the review said about it. The only other advice I have for creating entertaining reviews is don't make it a review. Call it analysis. Go balls to the wall with it. Who gives a shit if your video is 2 hours long if it's 2 hours full of passionate video making? A video I come back to again and again is Seth Zintak. God, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Forget it. Seth's video of Might and Magic 6. Quick warning, Seth is an edgy guy and he makes edgy jokes, so don't watch his videos if you know you're going to get mad at jokes targeting race and hot social issues. Regardless, halfway through this review, he gets fed up with the script and just rambles about stuff he likes about the game. It's the most genuine review I've ever seen, and it can barely be called a review as he doesn't go over the game's mechanics or even make an attempt at explaining what the game is about. He just sits in front of his microphone and talks about cool shit you can do in the game. Based on those 7 minutes of rambling, I went out and bought the game and plowed through it in 3 days. Seth was right, Might and Magic 6 is a great-ass game and you should play it. He did that with less than 10 minutes and less than 5 minutes of explanation. The passion he had for the game came through in how he explained it. Stop making reviews to feel like you're superior or smarter than someone who thought about it differently than you. Review or make a video about something because you're passionate about it, not because it'll get you views or that's what your audience wants. I'm not really the authority to talk about this, considering I only have like 60 subscribers. But it's my channel, baby. I get to say what I want. I guess at the end of the day, I hate what reviews have become in today's YouTube climate. So a better title for this would probably be Reviews Have Turned Into Something Bad. But you just got clickbaited, baby. Watch me do it all.